apparently I am the last topic of the day, so happy to be there with you. So it is a challenge for me and an opportunity. A challenge because I need to keep a momentum until the end of the day, and an opportunity because I'm closing this first next summit day. So I'm really happy to be with you today. I am Aurelie Rognon, working at Ipsen. As you can hear, I am French, and Ipsen is a French mid-sized company with a global footprint. I am leading at Ipsen at an international level all what is related to customer experience and engagement. And just a few words about this Ipsen company, because you will see I will really go through what I have done at Ipsen these last 2 years. So we are focusing on 3 therapy areas. One is oncology, rare disease, and neurology. And one thing that I really do like at Ipsen is really the fact that the company has strong value around the patient centricity. So I know that it is something that we are hearing a lot in the pharmaceutical environment, but it's really not only words, it's really acting in the daily life of everyone. And we have strong partnership with a lot of patient association, and we are really co-creating around the patient in our daily life. And yes, it's something that is really here in the values of what we are doing. But today we are here to discuss about cultural shift and how I began to really embark this cultural customer centricity mindset at Ipsen. So before to move, I would like just to share with you this Indigen report. I just saw it a few days ago. Perhaps you already read it as well, but it was really quite interesting. So Indigen did a market research in order to understand the main, what is the future-ready trends in life science, so for pharmacy. And the first question I saw in that study was around the main attributes. So what are the 3 main attributes of future-ready pharma company in your opinion? It's the first question that I asked to the leaders. So whatever it is, CXO, VP, SVP, or whatever. And you can see a long list of attributes. So we have ESG attribute, agility, a question around the long-term prioritization versus the short-term vision, etc. And also something around the place of the customer at the center of most decision. And guess what? The first attribute that came around that question was the customer. So definitely all the leaders answer that the first attribute for them to make the future of the pharma industry is really to putting the customer in the middle of what we are doing in our everyday. So that means that for now, we have a strong conscience in our pharma industry about the need to really put the customer in the centricity of what we are doing. It's great. It's a good beginning, I would say. The second thing is this figure. So we have a lot of plenty over figure, but I choose this one because it's a big number. So 60%. Deloitte and Touch made a survey, and we can see that with that, the customer centricity company enabling to make 60% more profitability versus the companies that are not centering their energy on the customer. So about the why to care about the customer, I think this number is just summarizing the why. You have a lot of other study coming from DST showcasing this kind of score that really there is a relationship between the profitability, the revenue growth, and the fact to really be customer-centric and focused. So the why is there. We have this kind of knowledge about sense of customer centricity needs to be done, but we can see that there is an issue, right? Because in a lot of pharma company, and I think it's the case certainly in your daily life, we are not necessarily seeing yet this kind of cultural shift on real customer centricity in our daily life. And it is what I try to begin to embark in the journey at Ipsen. So the main challenges I met in that journey, I related to these 3 topics. So, and here I really met, barriers about things that were really installed in the way of doing at Ipsen, the way of thinking and the main approach. So the first thing was that, as in a lot of traditional pharma company, we were focusing mainly only on the products. So the fact is that we need for sure to stop to only focus on the product. The products are essential, of course, but they are not the only focus that we need to have. We are not creating our differentiation, our customer engagement and experience only around the product. So we need to go beyond that. The second thing that we need to stop at Ipsen was about the patient centricity. As I said to you, we are really there. But is it enough? Do you think that the customer are only the patients? It's really a question that we ask to ourselves. And in fact, the answer is not. Of course, they are our final user, so they are really important. But we have other stakeholders that are really important: the prescriber, the people that are listed our product, the influencer, the people and the stakeholders that are caring about the patient, that are educating the patient, that are informing the patient, driving them in the right way, etc. So a lot of stakeholders are around the patients, and until now we are not really caring about them. So the feeling was, okay, let's envisage our customer approach more broadly, including the patient, but not only. And the last topic was a need to change the mindset. We used to focus on the multi-channel and try to create multi-channel strategies. Then we moved to the omnichannel, trying to create omnichannel strategy. But in fact, we lack a sense of really why we are doing that. And the reality is that omnichannel is essential. Digital is essential, but it is only an enabler. So the fact and the only objective that we need to have is to be customer-centric and to use the omnichannel and the digital and the data to achieve this objective. But what is driving people? It's the philosophy and the why and the sense of reaching something. And this ambition, it's difficult to achieve it through, omnichannel, or it's very difficult to give them a sense of purpose through driving only technology. But by saying, okay, let's work all together in the same direction. Let's paddle in the same direction through really trying to change the behavior of our customer to reach the desired state that we have in mind at the end for the care of the patient. Yes, in that case, we're driving a real sense of urgency and impactful. So based on that, I began the journey. I just have a big hurdle, in fact, because at Ipsen, on contrary to perhaps other companies, and you are lucky if you are there, we don't have necessarily the ELT support to go in this customer centricity. So at the beginning, I thought it would be a big issue, but finally I realized that it was not. It was not because, in fact, the statement of and the ELT endorsement of going in customer centricity is, of course, an help. It supports you, it helps you to have many resource budget and so on. But fundamentally, it's not what is driving the change. The change is driven by the mindset. By the mindset, so how we do think, but also by the earth set. It's about gut feeling, it's about passion. And it's what I tried to, with my team, to tackle. And how we began to drive this shift, and I'm talking about beginning because it's a journey, okay? It's not a destination, and we are still on the track. So we began basically by defining a common and clear vision across the organization. And even if we didn't have the ELT support, we achieved to get some sponsor support at different levels of the organization. So driving the vision is really important because it gives a sense of why we are doing this, what we want to achieve. It's about explaining how we will meet the unmet needs of the customer. It's about explaining what good looks like. It's driving the direction. Second thing that we've done is to design a customer-centric environment. So big word to say, let's focus on people. People, it's about ensuring that we are identified champions, people that are definitely convinced about the fact that we need to go in this direction internally. We also hired some external people that were knowledgeable on that topic. We partner with third-party vendors that are really important as well to enhance our knowledge and way of doing. It was also about ensuring that we are creating new roles in the company to mirror CX in different levels of the company. It was also to embark the headquarters, but also the local affiliates. So it was really to play at different levels in that journey. Another topic that we tackled was about all of the process. And this one was a very important, I think, step for us. So it was to adapt the main process that we had around the commercial product. So it's about the brand planning process which is really the process that is driving the brand plan at a global and local level, as well as the forecasting and budgetization. And what we try to do and what we did, in fact, is to instill in that brand planning process not only the patient journey, but also the customer centricity. And it was really a shift because it enabled, thanks to that, to ensure that in a routine base, all the brand teams, and by brand team at Ipsen, we are calling about marketing, commercial, medical, communication, medical affairs, and so on. So all the brand teams, thanks to that, were embarked in the journey of really becoming more customer-centric. We also created, of course, process around end-to-end methodology in order to really drive the way from planification to execution and monitoring. Of course, we also worked on the knowledge. Knowledge is really important, as well as the skills of our internal people. We also ensure to work on the best practice sharing, because we had some example of people doing right in the right way, even if it was some piece of a journey only. And it's really important to recognize the success and to recognize people that are just driving the way. And last but not least, it was about also developing the tools and capabilities, such as data, for example, or digital content component platform, in order to make it happen, to accelerate things, facilitate, or make it in an easy way, in order to execute, because execution is really, really important. We met challenge, of course. So our challenge was this one. So the first one was really to really understand the customer. Because when we began the journey, we discussed about, okay, do you have insight about your customer and so on? And everyone said, yes, I know that they know that and they don't know that. Okay, but what else? And it was that. So we realized that, in fact, we need really to instill a real sense of what insight means, what really means to understand our customer, to go in their shoes, really. And it was not only to work on the rationale, on the knowledge, it was also to ensure to capture insight regarding the beliefs. What do they believe? What do they feel? What are their emotions? Because in fact, when you want to drive a change, what is driving a change? It's above all the emotion. It's above all the good feeling. And it's right for us. It's right for our customer. So we need to deeply understand them, and not only working with the marketing, but working with the cross-functional team to make it happen, including the field force and the commercial, that are really the main people, because they are knowing their customers, they are meeting them on a daily life. Other challenge was breaking the silos within the organization. As in all organizations, we have horizontal and vertical silos. The objectives were really to work together as cross-functional teams to embark everyone, market access, medical, communication, marketing, commercial, etc. It was also to ensure that the leaders, so perhaps not VLT, but at least some leaders, GM and so on, had the vision, but also that the field force is sharing this vision. We are still on the track for that topic. It is also to think CX, from my perspective, above the brands. CX linked to a brand, it's great. But in some cases, your customers, they are eventually using different products, or they are interested in your whole therapy area, or in your company. So you need to apply the CX eventually to your therapy area, across the board, to your company level. And it's really important to build a great story narrative that makes sense and go beyond just the brand and the product. It's about also setting goals and measurements. So we're in a company where definitely we were doing marketing, commercial activities in general and program, but with no necessarily measurements. So the first step was to begin to instill this kind of way of working, to try to set up objective measurement, and above all, to apply it to the customer experience and engagement. Last but not least, in the same feeling, it was also to establish a way to more continuously to really learn from what we are doing in order to improve and do best in the next time and collect more insight in that way. Make it concrete. I say to you that it was important. And alongside this journey, it was not only, and it is not only, to drive the thinking. It's really also to enable the team to make it happen. To make it happen through asking them different questions and eventually letting them to realize and concretize only one of these questions. It's not about asking to to the team to execute everything, but it's to help them facilitate their work to focus on a certain point. And from my side, I really try to also identify some partnerships with different markets, global brand team, medical marketing, etc., to make some MVP, to make some real life, to make some pilots, whatever we are calling them, but to try and test and coach and learn by myself, but also let them learn by themselves also. And it is very, very important to make it concrete. I created this C family. Here it's the key principle I have met alongside the journey until now, and that I'm referring to really frequently when I'm talking about customer centricity. So you have, like example, the comprehension. Comprehension is to really understand your customer. You have common value, common share value. It's really important. Of course, it's important to understand what your customers are looking for, what they are expected, what they want. But you need also to ensure that it is meeting also your own business needs at the moment. It's about content. We heard about content later on, but for me, content is really important, and it's really to identify the specific messages and key claims to select the right one that are going really to drive a pathway, and beyond that to eventually add on some services if and when needed, when it is really valuable. It's about communication, consistency. This is really important. Consistency, that means collaboration with other departments. It means also coordination across the company. It's about co-creation and ensuring that we are building communities with our customers. So co-creation is really important internally, but also externally with our stakeholder customers. It's about creating capabilities or improving capabilities, continuous improvement, and, as I say, collaboration, and coordination. So remember the C family. My key takeaways until now on this journey is about inspiration. I think it's really the main thing. You are here and you need to be there to inspire people, to give them the way, to define the vision, but also by sharing best practice, you can really make it happen. It's also about ensuring that your organization is ready. So it's ready in terms of people, process, tool capabilities, and so on. It's about also coordination and collaborations. So this one is crucial if you want really to deliver a consistent experience to your customer. So it's about breaking the silos, ensuring that you are working not only at a brand but at a therapy area level, that you are embarking the whole organization, the leaders, but also the sales force. And it's also to embark the global and the local. You need to ensure that the whole company is there. It's about customer insights. So customer insight, it's really the beginning of the journey. You need to deeply really work on this. It's about empathy, it's about emotion and not only rational. And it's about really to educate people to take the insight, but also to collect the insight to improve alongside the way, the pathway and what we are doing to do. And the insights are not there just to do it, otherwise it doesn't make sense. It's about, after I use it, to really personalize what we are going to deliver. And the personalization can happen at different stages of the journey. It's about, from my point of view, personalize when you can, really this story narrative. This is crucial. Because imagine if you have someone which is already aware about your product and using it versus someone which is non-user, the message you're going to deliver, the key claims, should not be the same if you want to change their way of doing, right? Of thinking or acting. So you need to be careful about this. It's about also personalize, for sure, the channel that you are using, but not only regarding the expectation of your customers. Of course, it's important, but also regarding the communication objective that you do have. If your communication objective is to educate, or if it is to raise awareness, do you think that you are going to use the same channels? Of course not. So you have to keep that in mind. It's about personalizing also the activities, program, service that you are going to deliver. And perhaps some service, even if they are great, they are not relevant for that type of customer, because the values are going to deliver is not there. And last but not least, it's about the data, of course, data-driven. We are really here to define data to, first of all, it's coming by defining the objective, defining the main KPIs, to track them, to monitor them, and afterward to really use the data to make the decision at all steps of the journey. So you can make it on once, it's a journey, as I said, but it's really something to keep in mind that is really important and enable a continuous improvement of what you are going to deliver. So now I would like to ask you, do you think that you are ready eventually to begin this customer centricity shift, or to improve it, or to continue it? And perhaps just this comics, I would like to share it with you because it's a journey, as I said, you know, it's not a destination to go there. And I think this one is really summarizing where we are. So even if you are already in the customer centricity, you know, mindset, it's about, after a while, becoming data-centric. It's about becoming also digital-centric because all of this is supporting the customer centricity mindset. It's about also, above all, being employee-centric because our employees are our value, and it's because you are really employee-centric that you can make it happen. So thank you for your attention. Is there any questions?
Did your focus on customer centricity also translate into organizational changes? Or do you still have brand teams? Or, I mean, looking at tech industry, they are kind of organizing their organizations around customers. And I would love to find one pharma company that is trying out such an approach.
Yes, great question and very important one. So we are still organizing at a global level by brand teams, but we are seeing some therapeutic areas, teams in communication working there to create some customer experience, story narrative and focus. So it's just the beginning. So I'm seeing there a lot of change in the coming months, I guess, or years in Ipsen. Locally, for now, they are really, you know, organized by brand or very classically. And in terms of CX, customer experience and centricity, we are seeing much more roles, so at local and regional level. So while for now in some countries it was not the case, so now we are really this kind of roles everywhere in the world. And at a global level, what I do like a lot is the medical. So at Ipsen, the medical is really there, much more than the marketing team, I would say. And we are creating some mirrors customer experience role in the medical team in order to ensure that there are some relays. And my next step for next year is really to deep dive and to work really much more with the medical and the communication team to make it happen. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Aurelie, for the presentation. One thing that you said that I could very much relate to is the importance that is being placed on patient experience. And of course, we're here for the patients, but indeed there are other influencers, caregivers, and also the prescribers, which remain very important for us. And you said that you managed to integrate customer centricity in the brand planning process. I'm just wondering, and relating to my own story, so we, for example, we have patient experience is a standalone CSF, like marketing, medical, and accesses, but customer experience is not. So how concretely did you structurally integrate customer experience into the brand planning process?
So I will try to summarize, but we did really cross-functional work in order to ensure that we are embarking all the functions on all the key topics in the brand plan. So initially speaking, 3 years ago, everything was separate. We had a brand plan, marketing one, a medical there, a communication there, etc. So everything now is compiled together. And the beginning of the journey of the brand plan is, of course, I say, of course, I don't know if it's obvious, but the patient journey. And what I'm trying to do is to ensure that the patient journey is not going to be seen only on a transactional way, but I want to ensure that next year it will also be seen through, not only for the medical way, but next year it will also be seen through the transactional and emotional way. And in this patient journey, we are seeing, of course, the interaction with the HCPs, nurses, and all the other stakeholders. And from there, we are designing our strategic imperative and key leverage point. And from each key leverage point, we are identifying who are our key customers. And from that identification of the key customer, and it can be, I don't know, the patient association, the oncologist in a hospital, and the neurologist, and so on, we are designing the customer centricity from there, really trying to map the current behavior, the desired state, the barriers and drivers, and designing from there the story narrative, and only after a while we are designing the customer journey for this customer. So it's really like, yes, a funnel, I will say. And it's an improvement, so it's an ongoing process. I began this 2 years ago. This year we just, had 1 slide or 2, I don't remember. Last year we had 4 or 5 slides, and we are, improving it regularly.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I actually can relate to most of it. I'm here. As you fairly mentioned, customer centricity or building customer centricity, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And I would be keen to hear what was your biggest challenge so far in that journey.
Biggest one in the journey, I think it was really to break the habits, in fact, in general. So it's crossover, but it's really, for example, when I say stop to be only product focused, it was really a challenge to ensure that we are going beyond the product, really focusing on, for example, also services, or again, non-promotional message, and so on, especially for the marketing team, I would say at a global level. So yes, I think so. It's about also ensuring that we are stopping to just provide one message that fits all for, everything that we are doing, because we used to, and because we have great agencies that are recommending us to do that. So it's also to break the habit to just rely on agencies that have great plan, and to just, we apply it without having our own thinking. So yes, I think breaking habits is really the biggest challenge from my point of view. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a great end of the day.